back with another custom review. Today we're looking at the Transformers Studio Series Gamer Edition Shattered Glass Optimus Prime. So here he is in his vehicle mode. Before we look at him, let's take a quick look at his paints. So as always, I did use some gray fine surface primer, as well as the same TS79 semi-gloss clear. I also used some TS32 haze gray, TS24 purple, and some TS29 semi-gloss black. It'll focus, thank you. And then for the other paints, I used some chrome silver. It'll focus, thank you. Some semi-gloss black, some field blue, gunmetal. Focus a little bit more, thank you. Gold leaf, and light green, as well as two mixed colors, which, if I remember right, this is gold leaf and semi-gloss black, just to make a little bit of a darker gold color, which it's not shaken, so you can just see right through the bottle. Ooh. And then this copper mixture, which I think is also just copper and black. It's been a while. I actually don't. I kind of modified two existing ones, as I always do these days, so I can't 100% confirm it's what I use, but I think so. You see the copper, you see the black, you know, kind of makes sense. And then finally, I actually used one of these, some Lumiere metallic. Not metallic. I was reading the top. Pearlescent magenta. In other words, very shiny pink. But here he is in his vehicle mode, and of course this is the Studio Series Gamer Edition War for Cybertron Optimus Prime in Shattered Glass colors. And I really like this thing. it just, I kind of had my own little vision for it. It's inspired by a knockoff that we'll compare in robot form, because I hate transforming that thing and never want to do so again. And I kind of based it on that, kind of did my own thing. And this was the result. And I do really like the base figure a lot. I do think it is really fun. And this wasn't the exact plan I had for this custom. The actual one I wanted to use was I had planned to use the Fractured Friendship Optimus and do a Shattered Glass take on that. But I wanted to part swap some of the bits. I want to part swap all these dark gray parts to that figure, so I wouldn't have to paint the dark gray, because I think that makes sense with Shattered Glass Optimus's deco. But unfortunately, some of them would come off and some of them wouldn't, and it just, the project wasn't gonna, I couldn't do it the way I wanted to do it. So we just Shattered Glass this one, because I didn't waste $35 on this toy and buying all those paints for nothing. But he does look quite nice. Get a nice little bit of the grill here, which I sprayed this with the black, which I almost didn't do. I forgot to even think about it when I did it, and after I had sprayed this whole piece, I was like, wait a second, shouldn't I have done that? And so I went back and did it. The windows, I tried to align them slightly better, which I didn't totally succeed. A little bit of crack there. Gotta keep some consistency. It doesn't really flow with the one on the chest that well, but look at what I have to work with. Alright, give me a break. Coming to the sides of some purple going down, then the black going back up, which the original one almost got right, but it didn't paint that little square bit. So like, this is the blue piece and this is all the red, and they just didn't paint that to match. So this one actually has it going all the way down proper. Nice green going on the wheels, gunmetal now. And then the legs, which are very different, I wanted to mix doing black and then doing the field blue. Field blue, if you didn't know, is the color I typically use for Shattered Glass Prime's legs, I think. While it is not one-to-one with the Fun Pubs color, it is close, and I think it is the spirits way more than whatever the heck we're doing with modern Shattered Glass Optimus. We'll get there. Because every time I do a custom or talk about them, I have to talk about the colors. But I did this mixture where, like, it's primarily black, but there's blue layering to it. And so here you can see in vehicle mode, this area has some blue. The top part has blue with that great bit painted with the black, which these parts are actually spray painted black, but then I painted the blue over it. So this is the spray paint black, and this is the hand painted blue, which I tried to avoid painting in these lines so that they're deep. And you could just, and they added just some accents to it. Little teaser of the robot mode legs there. A little bit of gunmetal under there to once again just kind of add some layering going on. And yeah, just the fists back. It's the design. Like, I get it. I get the outrage when the toy came out, but I don't care as much. And then I think DNA made parts to fill in right here, but I don't actually know if they integrate into the legs. The kit costs almost the exact same price as the toy. I wasn't buying that, alright? But, yeah, solid truck mode. Like I said, I love this toy in general. This feels like I am holding a shoe with wheels, and that is exactly how this alt mode is supposed to feel. Yeah. You can still take the gun, which here it is. This is what I painted the haze gray, because I really like the idea of Shatterglass Optimus's gun being gray. I forgot if this was just a me thing, or if I got this idea from somewhere. I was trying to think of it before I did this. Because I did like a little figurine of Shatterglass Optimus with a gray gun, and now I've done this one, and I'm like, was this a me thing? Did I think of this one day, or did I see like something online about it? None of the Shatterglass Primes officially have a gray gun, or is it? Is it the MP10 Masterpiece? Because I know the MP44 one doesn't. That one just has a black gun. It's boring. Maybe it was MP10. Maybe that's where this comes from. But you can still plug it in. I made sure that was still possible. And it does look right as rain. Kind of just makes more sense with this Prime to have his gun plugged in. He's evil. He's always shooting. But anyways, that is it for the truck modes. Let's go ahead and get him into his robots mode. And here in the robot mode, this thing is just divine. Absolutely just... I tried really hard to put as much detail into this as I really could, and even bring up some of the details that the mold, at the time, before we got that new Target exclusive one, didn't highlight originally. So here we go. We're going to start up here with the head. Bring this up just a little bit. I have a new tripod, by the way. New video, new tripod. Around, I think it's like third tripod for the channel. Congrats. But as you can see, he has beautiful purple eyes in there. Thanks to the blocky Shatterglass Prime. Don't know if I mentioned it on the channel or not, but I really like that little take on Shatterglass Prime. I think it's very neat looking, and the pink eyes for that is just game changer. So every Shatterglass Prime going forward might just have those. But of course, he has the blue head, nice golden crest at the forehead, and a gunmetal faceplate. Coming down here to the chest, there is that bit of layering that the Gamer Edition one sculpt does have. I made sure to paint in the little lines there and a little crack on the windshield. And I even did the matrix chamber, which the original one just fully gunmetals it, but this one I decided to try to pick out a lot of the details. I picked out a lot of details in Age of the Primes Prima's matrix chambers, and I did that one not too long before I did this. So I was just kind of in the mood to really go all out. So I'm just going to take the matrix out for a second, just to kind of show I did a lot of that green energy going on in there. Some gold layering on those abs, some gunmetal. Just, even those little pipes are black up there. I just really tried to put in as much as I could. And then this matrix is where I use that darker copper mixture. And I actually tried to base this a little bit on the MP44 Shatterglass Primes matrix. So I think it's alright. I do think it's funny that Shatterglass Optimus, the colors for his matrix is just never going to be consistent. Anyways, nice Toy Hacks damaged Autobot symbol. I would have had one on both shoulders, but that's the only one I had that size left. So I think he used the rest of them on the Wreckers? I don't know. I forgot where they went. But, oh, this is the gold mixture, by the way. That's a little bit darker. I thought it would be more different than the regular gold leaf, but it's really not that much different. Like, I can tell it's a little bit darker in person. I don't even know if you can tell on camera. But, oh well. Arms here, some gunmetal accents, some black accents. Did I do the underside? I did. I did do the underside. That was me. Of course, the hands are also the nice field blue. And coming down here, I painted up these little squares, which I think I did 3 of them going up. We're going to fact check that. Did I do that? Expand. Did I do the 3 or did I just do the 2? I did all 3. Okay. Oh, I also painted the inner part here black so that the chest just has a little bit more dimension going on, and it really highlights this shape. So, love to see it. Did a little bit of green in there. And then coming down here to the legs, once again, they are mainly spray painted black. However, I added the purple on top. This one I think is like spray painted with both. Like I think I sprayed it purple first, and then I did black. Or did it the other way? I don't know. I forgot which way I did it. It's two colors. It's two colors layered. But the feet here, the legs here, as you can see, primarily black. I'll kind of show the inside. You can see it's just black. But then I layered up some blue on top, so we have some blue around the kneecap and on the fronts of the knees, as well as that little bit of green picked out. And the green in here picked out, which the new Target exclusive one does. And I think that's really cool. I would have gotten the Target exclusive one if that's the one that was out first. Anyway, shady business practices aside, I painted some gunmetal inside the leg, and I tried to keep it kind of segmented so it would, you know, pop a little bit more in there, and I think it does. I like it. Surprisingly not difficult to do that part. I thought that'd be a lot harder because it's literally in a rectangle. Like there's some distance in there. But no, it worked. And then the feet down here, painted a bit around the toe, and I kept that black for, again, bit of pop, a bit of pang. The heck is pang? But yeah, just a solid. Well, I don't do Shadow Glass Prime that often because I have way too many. But I wanted to go all out. Speaking of having way too many Shadow Glass Optimus, no, I'm not bringing every Shadow Glass Optimus I've ever made into this. My table is not big enough. But I will bring his inspiration somewhat, and that is this knockoff of Shadow Glass Optimus. It is an oversized War for Cybertron Optimus Prime in Shadow Glass colors. It really sucks. I don't overly like this knockoff. I think the one thing I kind of like about it over my custom is I think the shade of purple is nicer, which on camera, looking down at it now, they look like the exact same shade of purple, but in hand, I promise, it's a lot richer. Though I also kind of like the pale purple that I've got going on. It just kind of, I don't know, it feels different. Like, I can imagine this kind of being, like, a bit earlier stage, and as it goes later on, he just gets that more insane, kind of reddish-based purple he's got going on in the Fun Pub design. And for a little additional comparison, here is the most recent official Shadow Glass Optimus. And that is the MP44 one. That is way too tall. And I will not be able to fully fit in frame. But gosh darn it, we're going to try it. There you go. Which I actually was completely planning to skip this, but then I started to regret it after a little while. But, oh no, who's going to fall? But for my birthday, I ended up actually being able to afford to get one. So I have him for this comparison. You can thank the fact that this video took me several weeks to finally be able to make. It was worth it. I had to wait till I could get this comparison. It was all worth it for this, right? Right? But yeah, modern Shadow Glass Prime, you know, legs are way too brightly blue. The silver, ew. No black, 0 out of 10. But I do like this shade of purple. It isn't bad, all right? Like, I'll admit it. It's pretty all right. Gotta give credit where credit's due. And that toy, interesting. Interesting to say the least. It's really expensive. And, mini review of MP44 Shattered Glass Prime. He's expensive. He looks good in robot form. His transformation, I will never see his truck mode ever again in my lifetime. Because getting from truck to robot took me forever in an MGO video. Thank you, MGO, for doing your Just Transform It series. We all, the entire fandom at large, appreciates those videos. I'm pretty sure. Seriously, I think I hear someone mention them at least once a week where they're like, thank you, MGO. Instructions are bad. But you can still take his gun unreleased. Jeez. I actually swapped the arm from this one in my original War for Cybertron Prime, because for some reason when I swapped them, both arms were tighter. Because on my original Prime, it's like, it was so loose I could hold the arm and the figure would fall off. But when I swapped the arms, they were tighter. It was weird. But anyway, gun. He looks real nice with it. He can still point and shoot, as most things with a gun can. I also kind of like how the gray is like really close to this, so it just kind of looks like the whole thing is part of the gun. I don't know. I think it kind of helps the look, if I'm being honest. And of course, there's still a 5mm peg here, so if you have anything with a 5mm post, you can just have them do that. Like a lot of War for Cybertron figures have a have a post in their back. You can just pick them up. I think he's got tight enough joints. He can definitely do it to cores. And then for, of course, one good comparison. Let me get his axe out of his hand. I forgot to do that. Whoopsie doodle. Here he is with the Prime. I still really like this toy a lot, don't get me wrong. But, of course, Shatterglass Deco's gonna win. Come on, you know me. You know who I am, like, as a fundamental person. I did add a little bit of weathering to this Prime. Not a lot, just a little. Because I don't want to go overboard on any of these figures. And I did add some silver to the arms because it was sorely missed detail. Who knows, maybe I'll swap it out for the new one. I've thought about, maybe if it goes on sale. And the new Megatron, I hear he might have gotten rid of the knee issue. Cool. I don't make videos talking about recent things, alright? I gotta squeeze it into these. But I do like them. As you can see again, the dark gray it does work for, just works for both. But I would kind of like to see how he looks with lighter gray, because it's sort of like a toy deco thing. Or maybe not. Maybe just some shots of the game was more silver. I do still like the darker color. If that toy had darker red too, it would be so over. But you might be thinking, where is the axe? You haven't shown that at all yet. Well, while I did not get the entire DNA upgrade set for Gamer Edition Optimus because it is wildly overpriced for what is essentially a bunch of gap fillers, I did get their overpriced axe. Because it was overpriced, but it was like $12, I think. All right, I don't know. This money is like a core class. Like there's core class in this. Anyway, he has an axe. So a little bit of unplugging that, sliding the axe into his hand, bumping that back in there. This is what dreams are made of, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Ooh. Fire. Just absolute. Get this zoomed out just a little bit. But yeah, I love him with this axe. I've always loved the War for Cybertron and Fall of Cybertron games. Fall of Cybertron I will still claim is like my favorite video game just of all time. As someone that doesn't play too many video games. So that opinion's probably worth nothing. But I love this. I love this a lot. Would I do more Shatterglass War for Cybertron characters? Maybe. I don't know. I don't really have plans for it. But just for right now, I mean, if they did it with Jazz, I'd probably do him. Because I really like him. But, I mean, according to leaks, Gamer Edition's just kind of in the toilet right now. So, who knows? Who knows? But as for this custom, I think it turned out amazing. Do not be shocked if this ends up in at least my top 3 customs for the year when I get around to doing that video in a few months. In like 6 or 7 months. Hopefully it's not as long as a wait as I think it was this year. Fingers crossed. But yeah, sorry for not being around for videos too much lately. I've honestly just not had time to record. It's funny, one week I didn't have time. The next week my tripod broke. And the following week I got the new one, but I still didn't have time, and now I finally do. So this video will probably be up at least the day after I record it, because I really would like to start getting more content out, and I'm going to record as much as I can right now. But yeah. Anyways, that is pretty much all I have to say. So, please be sure to check out my channel for more video and custom reviews, and please don't forget to subscribe. You can also come check out my Facebook and Twitter pages, links in the description below, which I'm a lot more active on. And this is the 14th Prime, signing out.